Good morning and welcome. I am Stephen C. and you are at Steve C's on TikTok. It is Saturday, June 7th, 2025, 11 a.m. Central Time. And this is our Course in Miracles daily review. Today we are going to review Lesson 158 and Chapter 18, Section 9, corresponding portion of the text. So every day at 11 a.m., we undertake this discussion, a spiritual discussion, is a discussion about metaphysics, using the Course in Miracles as a launching pad, as a framework for that discussion about esoteric subjects, the occult, self-awareness, waking up, impartial self-observation, discernment, and discrimination from a spiritual point of view. So thank you for being here. Good morning and welcome. Please remember to like the live, share the live, and feel free to comment. Please leave your comments in the comments. Share the live and feel free to comment. Please leave your comments in the comments section. Follow this account. And if you missed the live or you would like to see some of the other discussions that we have had, 157 previous episodes, transmissions, downloads are over on the YouTube channel. There is a link in the account bio, or you can search at Stevo C's ST. Catch up. You can click around and see what we have been talking about. There are over 130 hours now of pretty good information, very nice discussions. We've been having a good time, great time. So welcome this morning, and I like to begin every session, every download by reading going over the introduction to the Course in Miracles, the introduction to the text that we can use as a grounding prayer, a grounding exercise to orient ourselves correctly for the following discussion, to help establish a vibration that will lead following discussion. So the introduction to the Course says, this is a Course in Miracles. It is a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. Course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way: nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So that introduction, a very excellent summary, very succinct, very direct summary of the purpose and the meaning behind the Course in Miracles. A required course. You could choose not to take it, but eventually you will feel compelled from within. You will feel compelled from within to wake up, to stop suffering, to stop the pain, the contradictions in your own mind, the feelings of confusion and distress. So it is a required course. That seeks to remove the blocks to the awareness of love's presence. We are fully loving creatures of the Creator. We are loved by the Creator. We love the Creator, and we love the creation, and the creation loves us back. So everyone and everything is, quote unquote, the Son of God. And so the Course does use a Christian framework for this explication of the universal curriculum. However, it is not the only form in which the perennial philosophy or this course is presented. There are many other forms, maybe presented in the form of esoteric Buddhism, esoteric Christianity in this case, Hinduism, Taoism, the perennial philosophy, ancient wisdom, mystery school teachings all contain portions of the truth. And what we are doing is learning to turn within to the teacher that is within us, the Holy Spirit. And so let's embark on today's journey, lesson 158, which says, today I learned to give as I receive. Today I learned to give as I receive. Giving and receiving are one. According to the Course in Miracles, we're giving up, surrendering our perception of duality and seeking a non-dual perception. Giving and receiving are one. So today I learned to give as I receive. The Course also points out that giving and receiving are simultaneous. There really is no delay. Time and space, an illusion. So let's find out what the Course says we're receiving. So it begins by asking the question, what has been given you? The answer, the knowledge that you are a mind, in mind, and purely mind, sinless forever, wholly unafraid, because you were created out of love. So the first principle, the first Hermetic principle is outlined right here in the Course in Miracles, the 7 Hermetic laws or 7 Hermetic principles, as explained in the Kabbalion, is here stated. Lesson 158. You are a mind, in mind, capital M, and purely mind. We are not a body. Sinless forever. No guilt. Wholly unafraid. No fear. Because you were created out of love, nor have you left your source, remaining as you were created. So we live, move, and have our being in the mind of God. This was given you as knowledge, which you cannot lose. It was given as well to every living thing. For by that knowledge only does it live. The knowledge that we are mind, purely mind, in mind, excuse me, in God's mind, everything is mind, mind substance, the light, perceived through our own consciousness, spirit. It continues, you have received all this. No one who walks the world but has received it. It is not this knowledge which you give, for that is what creation gave. All this cannot be learned. Knowledge is given. It is not learned. It is simply remembered or apprehended. What then are you to learn to give today? Our lesson yesterday evoked a theme found early in the text. Experience cannot be shared directly in the way that vision can. Our experiences are our own, based on our thoughts, based on our feelings, based on our past, based on the current moment of now. Everyone's experience is unique. experience cannot be shared directly in the way that vision can. The revelation that the Father and the Son are one will come in time to every mind. Yet, is that time determined by the mind itself, not taught? So the experience of oneness, the experience in consciousness that we are one with God, that I am one with God, is a revelation that will come to each mind in time. Yet, that time is determined by the mind itself. Time is set already. It appears to be quite arbitrary. Yet there is no step along the road that anyone takes by chance. It has already been taken by him, although he has not yet embarked on it. Interesting paradox there. What's being said, for time but seems to go in one direction, but we undertake a journey that is over, yet it seems to have a future still unknown to us. Time seems to proceed in a single direction. However, we have already completed the trip, and we are simply experiencing a slideshow, if you will. You go on a trip and you take all the pictures, and then you have a slideshow on your iPhone or your Android, and you are simply reviewing the trip you took, the things you saw, the experiences you had. The experience has already happened. Now we are reviewing it. Yet, it seems as if we haven't experienced it. There is some strange effect that takes place of forgetting. Some sort of veil is pulled over our consciousness. Becomes dark, things become obscured, and we cannot remember that we have already completed the journey. So, the Course says, time is a trick, a sleight of hand, a vast illusion, in which figures come and go as if by magic. Right? Welcome to the grand illusion. Come on in and see what's happening. Pay your price, get your tickets for the show. Time is a trick, a sleight of hand, a vast illusion in which figures come and go as if by magic. Yet there is a plan behind appearances that does not change. The script is written. When experience will come to end your doubting has been set, for we but see the journey from the point at which it ended, looking back on it, imagining we make it once again, reviewing mentally what has gone by. So a deep metaphysic here, rather difficult to wrap the mind around. Course in Miracles, readily available to anyone. It's on the bookshelf at Barnes & Noble. It's on the bookshelf at the Metaphysical Bookstore. It's online even, free for the reading. And it says, air quotes, quote unquote, crazy stuff like this. We're simply reviewing what has already happened. Salvation is already complete in the mind of God. So there is some comments here from P. Says, I need a miracle. Is there a way to go back, give years, and relive life to fix mistakes I made in the past? How do I get a miracle? I need one today. Well, continue to hang out and hang in there. Past is, quote unquote, rewritten according to the Course in Miracles because it is forgotten. It does not exist. The trick As we just read, time is a sleight of hand. It's a trick. If we can set our attention on this moment of now, Course in Miracles calls it the holy instant. If we can set our attention on this moment of now, no past, no future. Course says we perceive the body, our sense of separation is a symbol. The body is a symbol of our sense of separation from perfection, from God, from our source, created perfect, whole, and complete. The body is the symbol of the sense of separation from God. And so all the troubles in the dream seem to be related to the body. Not enough food, not enough money, no place to live, not enough shelter, not enough. So it is the idea of lack and limitation, which is the problem, a false idea. And so we have to train our minds. So the Course in Miracles is about mind training. And of course, if you begin training, if you begin learning, it does take time to learn how to fix a car engine. It does take time to train and build up your muscles. So the idea is to learn with an open mind and to begin to recognize that miracles are happening all the time. First chapter of the Course in Miracles, which you can find online, acim.org. You just read the first chapter, the first section of the Course in Miracles. The first sentence of Course in Miracles says there is no order of difficulty. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. If miracles are not occurring, there is something wrong. Miracles are natural. Miracles are our natural state. So continuing with the lesson for the day. A teacher does not give experience because he did not learn it. It revealed itself to him at its appointed time. But vision is his gift. This he can give directly. For Christ's knowledge is not lost because he has a vision. He can give to anyone who asks. The Father's will and his are joined in knowledge. Yet there is a vision which the Holy Spirit sees because the mind of Christ beholds it too. Here is the joining of the world of doubt and shadows made with the intangible. Here is a quiet place within the world made holy by forgiveness and love. Here are all contradictions reconciled, for here the journey ends. Experience, unlearned, untaught, unseen, is merely there. This is beyond our goal, for it transcends what needs to be accomplished. Our concern is with Christ's vision. This we can't attain. So, of course, here is saying that experience and knowledge, the experience of the truth and knowledge of the truth, are one thing. So, making a distinction between information and knowledge. Knowledge is the experience. Knowledge is wisdom, gnosis, knowing. This idea, this theme is explored in 12-step in the Big Book. To receive the information, to hear the narrative, to be able to repeat the jargon is not the experience. To read the Course in Miracles, to repeat the Course in Miracles, to be able to talk about it, is not the actual experience, the actual knowledge that it talks about, right? It's simply a finger pointing at the moon. to use a spiritual metaphor, right? Christ's vision has one law: does not look upon a body and mistake it for the Son whom God created. It beholds a light beyond the body, an idea beyond what can be touched, a purity undimmed by errors, pitiful mistakes, and fearful thoughts of guilt from dreams of sin. It sees no separation, and it looks on everyone, on every circumstance, all happenings, and all events without the slightest fading of the light it sees. So Christ's vision looks at everything in the light. There are no problems under Christ's vision, so we can see that described in the Bible. Christ's vision, the I am, the Christ consciousness, is available to each of us. All these things I do, even greater things than these, shall you do. I am in the Father. The Father is in me. I am in you. You are in the Father. So to come into alignment is to experience the miracle. Miracles are natural. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. As Esther Hicks says, it is as easy to manifest a castle as a button. What is happening is the dream, the illusion, the simulation we are a part of is manageable by us. We have dominion over it. We are sovereign over it. And so it can be manipulated, can be changed consciously. We are looking to make the unconscious or the subconscious conscious. All the power resides in the subconscious mind, in the right hemisphere of the brain, in the divine feminine wisdom, Sophia, right? Sophia, Greek word for wisdom, the divine feminine, the subconscious, the right hemisphere of the brain, etc., etc., etc. There has to be a union between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. Feminine creates the body, does it not? Right? So the feminine principle, the divine feminine principle, is the healer. Of course, this information has been obscured. This information has been hidden, taken out of the Bible, destroyed by the Catholic Church. So I may make a controversial statement. So Christ's vision, which is what we were talking about in this lesson, looks on everyone, on every circumstance, all happenings and all events, without the slightest fading of the light it sees. This can be taught and must be taught by all who would achieve it. It requires but the recognition that the world cannot give anything that faintly can compare with this in value, nor set up a goal that does not merely disappear when this has been perceived. And this you give today. See no one as a body. Greet him as the Son of God he is, acknowledging that he is one with you in holiness. Thus do you learn to give as you receive, and thus Christ's vision looks on you as well. This lesson is not difficult to learn if you remember in your brother you but see yourself. Okay? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. He is asking, is there a way to do this? Yes, there is a way to do this. Of course, there's a way to do everything Nothing is impossible to God. So, P, you must come into alignment with God. You must begin to seek and to understand. It's not about snapping our fingers and changing our circumstances, although it is possible under certain circumstances, under certain vibrations, as the vibration of the planet rises, as our own vibration rises into the fifth dimension, our experience of the world will change. Let's just say, P, that whatever you are requesting a miracle for, it has already been granted. It is already so. Simply accept the fact that it is already so, and continue to accept the fact it is already so until it appears, until the solution appears, till the problem fades away. So finally, here, the lesson for the day. Today I learned to give as I receive. It matters not when revelation comes, for that is not of time. Yet time still has one gift to give, in which true knowledge is reflected in a way so accurate. Its image shares its unseen holiness. Its likeness shines with its immortal love. We practice seeing with the eyes of Christ today, and by the holy gifts we give, Christ's vision looks upon ourselves as well. So as I give, I will receive to look at you with the eyes of Christ, with Christ's vision, to see only the light in you, to recognize you are perfect, whole, and complete. There is no problem. There is no, need for a miracle. You are the miracle. This has to be understood, repeated, accepted until it is finally experienced. So, a daily practice, a constant practice, constant prayer, constant alignment with the one, with the truth, is the solution. So, P, my friend, looking for a miracle, the solution has already been given. The miracle has already occurred. So, think of it as already being so in your mind. Visualize it, see it. There is no problem. Affirm this to yourself, and then intuitively and through inspiration, continue to move throughout the day, continue to do what needs to be done without a heavy heart, without fear. Simply know and accept that everything is working out in your favor. So this is a transformation of consciousness, a transformation of thinking. That is what the Course in Miracles is about. That is what we're talking about here today and every day. So now a corresponding portion of the text. This is another great section of the text today. It's from chapter 18, section 9. Chapter 18 is called The Passing of the Dream. We want the dream of separation. We want the dream of death to fade away. We want to accept only life, only the light. Accept a non-dual experience, non-dual consciousness, a unified consciousness. So section 9 is called The Two Worlds. Because our mind is split. So it begins by saying you have been told to bring the darkness to the light and guilt to holiness. And you have also been told that error must be corrected at its source. Therefore, it is the tiny part of yourself, the little thought that seems split off and separate, the Holy Spirit needs. The rest is fully in God's keeping and needs no guide. Yet, this wild and delusional thought needs help because in its delusions, it thinks it is the Son of God, whole and omnipotent, sole ruler of the kingdom. It's set apart to tyrannize by madness into obedience and slavery. So that world of tyranny we think we see outside of ourselves, the world of slavery, madness, war, conflict that we think we see outside of ourselves, the Course in Miracles says is really inside of ourselves. The external world we see, the circumstances, the scenarios, the situations are composed of thoughts, are composed of thought complexes, are reflections of inner states of mind, inner states of being. This is the little part you think you stole from heaven. Give it back to heaven. Heaven has not lost it, but you have lost sight of heaven. So this is where guilt comes in. I think I've stolen a part of heaven for myself. My teacher, who's teaches the group, she's been teaching the Course in Miracles for 30 plus years, right? Talks about the idea of a thief, and here is the fundamental idea of the thief, the Platonic idea, if you will, of a thief. We think we've stolen a part of heaven and tried to make it our own. And as we just reviewed in the lesson for the day, giving and receiving are one. I cannot steal from God. I cannot take something from God and make it my own, separate and apart from everyone else and everything else. It is still connected. It is still a part of God. And as we have reviewed for the last couple of days, it does not affect the God in the least that I think I have stolen a part of heaven, that I do not acknowledge the true source of my life, that I do not give thanks to the true source of my being, matters not. I'm the one that is suffering because of it. Let the Holy Spirit remove it from the withered kingdom in which you set it off, surrounded by darkness, guarded by attack, and reinforced by hate. Within its barricades is still a tiny segment of the Son of God, complete and holy, serene and unaware of what you think surrounds it. Be you not separate. For the one who does surround it has brought union to you, returning your little offering of darkness to the eternal light. How is this done? As P is asking us today, how is this done, right? So if you're still here, P, listen to this. How is this done? How do I give back the portion of myself, little s, back to heaven, back to God? How do I return that portion to God? Capital S, big self, oneself. How is this done? It is extremely simple, being based on what this little kingdom really is. So here it is. The barren sands, the darkness, and lifelessness are seen only through the body's eyes. Its bleak sight is distorted, and the messages it transmits to you, who made it to limit your awareness, are little and limited and so fragmented they are meaningless. Okay, still explaining this. Try to grasp this, try to understand this. from the world of bodies made by insanity, insane messages seem to be returned to the mind that made it. And these messages bear witness to this world, pronouncing it as true. It is not true. It is an illusion. For you sent forth these messengers to bring this back to you. Everything these messages relate to you is quite external. So here we go. There's the first clue. I think the world I see is external to me. It is not. And so that's the first clue. And here it's going to go a little bit deeper. There are no messages that speak of what lies underneath or behind, for it is not the body that could speak of this. Its eyes perceive it not. Its senses remain quite unaware of it. Its tongue cannot relay its messages, which is why scientists and materialists and atheists claim that God does not exist, that the unseen by the senses, anything not seen by the senses, anything not seen by eyeballs, anything we are unable to touch, does not exist. Strangely, the scientists and the materialists, of course, talk about gravity and electricity and many things that are unseen, and yet they claim that those do exist. So there's kind of a contradiction there in the thinking, which is the condition of the split mind. So there you have it. So the body's eyes, everything these messages relate to you is quite external. The messages that the body and the messengers and the witnesses to the messages that the body has sent out are returned to us. Yet there is something behind it. There is something underneath it. Its eyes perceive it not. Its senses remain quite unaware of it. Its tongue cannot relay its messages. Yet God can bring you there. For if you are willing to follow the Holy Spirit through seeming terror, otherwise known as the dweller on the threshold, trusting her not to abandon you and leave you there, for it is not her purpose to frighten you, but only yours. You are severely tempted to abandon her at the outside ring of fear, but she would lead you safely through and far beyond. So this is the problem. The problem is fear. The fear of looking within ourselves, the subconscious fear, the hidden fear, does not appear to be a fear. That's why it's called an illusion. The fear to look within, the fear to confront the shadow within us, the dweller on the threshold, the shame, the guilt, the self-condemnation, our reluctance to do that, to turn within, to look within, with a guide, the Holy Spirit, the Comforter. That is the fear that leads to the blindness, that leads to the problems that we suffer from. So continuing here, it says the circle of fear lies just below the level the body sees and seems to be the whole foundation on which the world is based. Here are all the illusions, all the twisted thoughts, all the insane attacks, the fury, the vengeance, and betrayal that were made to keep the guilt in place so that the world could rise from it and keep it hidden. The subconscious guilt, the subconscious shame, what we will not admit to ourselves. The illusions of this world. Right? So here is the explanation. Go check it out, chapter 18, section 9. How does this happen? What happens? And what is the solution? Here it is. Go to ACIM.org, read it, think about it, read it again, meditate on it, read it again. It's shadow, the shadow that Carl Jung talks about, right? Subconscious, unconscious, complexes, contradictions, fears. Its shadow rises to the surface enough to hold its most external manifestations in darkness and to bring despair and loneliness to it and keep it joyless. Yet its intensity is veiled by its heavy coverings and kept apart from what was made to keep it hidden. Body cannot see this, for the body arose from this for its projection, which depends on keeping it not seen. The body's eyes will never look on it, yet they will see what it dictates. Okay, so the body and the senses, it's just being explained here that our senses, the 5 senses, are coverings, veils, distortions drawn over the truth, drawn over true perception. To keep hidden from ourselves, we do it to ourselves, to keep the truth hidden from ourselves. Body will remain guilt's messenger and will act as it directs as long as you believe that guilt is real. For the reality of guilt is the illusion that seems to make it heavy and opaque, impenetrable, and a real foundation for the ego's thought system. Its thinness and transparency are not apparent until you see the light behind it. And then you see it as a fragile veil before the light. Okay? The body. The body, which seemingly keeps us from knowing the truth, which seemingly keeps us from the light. This heavy seeming barrier, this artificial floor that looks like rock, is like a bank of low, dark clouds that seem to be a solid wall before the sun. Excuse me. Its impenetrable appearance is wholly an illusion. It gives way softly to the mountaintops that rise above it. It has no power at all to hold back anyone willing to climb above it and see the sun. It is not strong enough to stop a button's fall, nor hold a feather. Nothing can rest upon it, for it is but an illusion of a foundation. Try but to touch it, and it disappears. Attempt to grasp it, and your hands hold nothing. And I would encourage you to continue to read this yourself. I'm going to wrap it up for today. It does continue for several more paragraphs, 7 or 8 more paragraphs. We'll just cover the last paragraph here, paragraph 14, but you can go online to chapter 18, section 9, and check it out for yourself. And when the memory of God has come to you in the holy place of forgiveness, you will remember nothing else, and memory will be as useless as learning, for your only purpose will be creating. Yet this you cannot know until every perception has been cleansed and purified and finally removed forever. Forgiveness removes only the untrue, lifting the shadows from the world and carrying it safe and sure within its gentleness to the bright world of new and clean perception. There is your purpose now, and it is there that peace awaits you. So the cleansing of the doors of perception, as William Blake said. There are 2 worlds we are perceiving. Our perception has been distorted. We are perceiving incorrectly. We are perceiving idols, not the truth, not the light. We see now through a glass darkly. And so the practice, the lessons for the day, the practice of the workbook from the Course in Miracles is the discipline practice necessary to transform the mind. It is a supplemental practice, or it could be the main practice, the main spiritual practice you undertake, but it is supplementary. It is something that can continue throughout the day in the background, brought to the forefront of consciousness throughout the day, and then it can be let go and then brought forth again, reminding ourselves of who and what we truly are throughout the day. This is the practice. This is the practicing of miracles. This is the course of miracles. This is the discipline necessary. This is the learning that is necessary. So I am here. I am Stephen C. I'm here every day at 11 a.m. Central Time, talking about covering the lesson for the day and a corresponding portion of the text, 11 a.m. Central Time, daily, for about 45 minutes or an hour, depending. You can also review this lesson over on the YouTube channel and all previous 156 or 156, yeah, right? 157. So thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. Saying a quick prayer, an internal prayer, acknowledging the truth of everyone who is here. Help is with you. You are being helped right now. Everyone who needs help, everyone who requests help is given help. So rest assured, the help is with you right now, right here. So thank you for your comments. Thank you for the requests. Thank you for the likes. I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time. Peace and blessings. Love you. And have a great weekend. Have a great day.